The top secret Chris Houlihan Room appears in the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Yeah, many Zelda players found this by accident. Some try and find it specifically through speedrunning or glitches. But what is the story behind the Chris Houlihan Room? What is it? Who is Chris Houlihan? And is Chris Houlihan a real person? Well, today I'm going to look into this subject and we're going to try and answer the question, is Chris Houlihan real or not? But before we dive into things today, if you enjoy this video and you're looking for more Zelda content, then subscribe below and also turn on notifications to never miss an update, and also stick around to the end of the video for an exclusive offer for channel members. Okay, first of all, what is the Chris Houlihan Room? Well, Chris Houlihan is referenced in the original Super Nintendo version of the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Link gets sent to the top secret Chris Houlihan Room when an error condition occurs due to corrupt location data. So the room, it contains 225 rupees, which is very nice, and a telepathy tile saying, "My name is Chris Houlihan, this is my top secret room, let's keep it between us, okay?" Okay, so that is the Chris Houlihan Room, but how do you get into the Chris Houlihan Room? So, over time, a variety of methods have emerged for entering the Chris Houlihan Room. So most of them are focused on quickly dashing from a save point to a secret bush entrance outside Hyrule castles. So you can follow along on screen and I'll show you how I got to the Chris Houlihan Room. You know, it is worth noting there's various ways to get here. You can do searches on YouTube, you're going to see like 10 different ways to get to the Chris Houlihan Room. But this is the way I found easiest, and to be honest, it only takes a few minutes to learn if you want to try it for yourself. Okay, next up, who is Chris Houlihan? In the early 1990s, Chris Houlihan supposedly won a competition in Nintendo Power. Now, the winner would have his or her name added into a Nintendo game. Contestants had to take a photo of them with a rare Final Fantasy boss called Warmech. And at the time of the contest, it wasn't even known which game the name would appear in, and actually it was originally advertised as a NES game. But the actual game was announced as The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past at a later date, but I'll go into that in a minute. So in the North American version of A Link to the Past, the Chris Houlihan Room was added. However, in all subsequent ports of the game, Chris's name was actually removed and replaced simply with the top secret room. So why Chris's name was removed remains a mystery, and given his name was removed, that also sows the seeds of doubt with all the conspiracy theories. Well, talking of conspiracy theories, next up, let's have a look at the question, is Chris Houlihan real? You know, we believe that Chris Houlihan was the winner of a Nintendo Power contest held during September and October of 1990, where the winner would have their name programmed into a future NES game. So we've got the original competition here in Nintendo Power, and the competition reads as follows. So, have you ever imagined yourself in a NES game? Well, this is your chance. If you meet Warmech, then snap a photo of him and send it to the address below by October the 15th, 1990. One winner will be randomly selected and his or her name will be programmed into a future Nintendo game. So Chris Houlihan was first acknowledged as the winner in the December 1994 issue of Club Nintendo, and that was the official Nintendo magazine for Latin America. But the interesting thing, this is 1994, that is 4 years after the competition actually happened, which is quite strange. So let's have a look at Club Nintendo and we can translate it, and it says, "So we spent a long time searching and did not get to see this secret room. We thought it could have been a type of bug, but when we received another letter mentioning this room somewhere else, we were still unable to find it, and we decided to talk directly to whom created the game. So we asked our friends at Nintendo, and they informed us that this room appears randomly, and there are cartridges where it will never appear. Chris Houlihan is the name of the boy that won a Nintendo Power contest, and with it he also won the right to have his name programmed in Zelda: A Link to the Past." So there is confirmation there from an official Nintendo magazine, even though it was in Club Nintendo 4 years after the competition in Nintendo Power, which was the official magazine for North America. Nintendo actually waited 8 years to comment on the competition, finally mentioning it in a Nintendo Power in February 1998, and they said, in 1992, Nintendo Power contest winner Chris Houlihan secured his place in gaming history by having his name featured in a hidden area in the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. So while this was official confirmation from Nintendo Power in 1998, nearly 7.5 years after the competition, it is strange that Nintendo waited that long to mention it in Nintendo Power. And why did they never make a big deal about it, or maybe feature Chris Houlihan as the winner of this competition? Could you imagine a competition like that today being immortalised forever in a Legend of Zelda game? For example, could you imagine a cave being named after you in Tears of the Kingdom, or an item being named after you in Breath of the Wild? It would be absolutely incredible. So all of this happened in the early 1990s, so it was a different time back then. It was before the widespread adoption of the internet and before everything was digitised. Today, it's really hard to find out any information related to Chris Houlihan. There's a few forum entries, but to be honest, they look like people pretending to be Chris Houlihan for a laugh. Given the lack of information, many Zelda fans, they've tried to track down the real Chris Houlihan, although no concrete information can be found. I think there's probably a couple of outcomes here. Either Chris Houlihan is real and did win a competition, or Nintendo made up his name because he doesn't exist. Normally, the simplest answer is the correct one when it comes to a mystery, so it's highly likely that Chris Houlihan did win the Warmech Final Fantasy competition in 1990's Nintendo Power, and then probably moved on with his life. So if Chris Houlihan was entering a competition in 1990, he's probably going to be in the region of 10 to 15 years old. So yes, that is a massive assumption, but he probably won the competition, he got immortalised in A Link to the Past, and then he simply moved on with his life. He probably grew up, got a job, left home, and just moved on. But I would love to know if Chris Houlihan still plays Zelda games. So if you played The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past as a kid, then to be honest, that is going to stick with you. I wonder what the real Chris Houlihan thinks of Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Another outcome could be that Nintendo simply made up this name. Perhaps no one wrote into Nintendo Power, or they couldn't find the Warmech in Final Fantasy. The competition was published in the September or October version of Nintendo Power in 1990, and they only had until the 15th of October to find the Warmech, which isn't a very long time. So first of all, they have to find the Warmech, second of all, they have to take a picture, and then they have to write in. So you can imagine the probability of that is quite small, and it's going to take quite a long time to get that evidence to Nintendo. So given Nintendo removed Chris Houlihan's name from the game after the Super Nintendo version in North America, perhaps they were covering their tracks and wanted to remove this from the game. Well, personally, I do think someone named Chris Houlihan did win that competition and then simply moved on. I would love to hear from Chris Houlihan, so Chris, if you are watching, let us know what you're doing today and how you felt about winning that competition. If it were me, I would be shouting about it from the hilltops. So in answer to the question that we posed at the beginning of the video, asking, is Chris Houlihan real? I would say, yes, Chris is real, and he probably won that competition in 1990. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think about the unsolved mystery of the Chris Houlihan room from the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And let me know about your history with the Chris Houlihan room. Did you find it by accident when you originally played A Link to the Past? And let me know down in the comments your stories related to that top secret Chris Houlihan room. Well, that's it today for this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget you can hit that subscribe button down below for even more Zelda content here on Triforce Times. You can also like the video and share the video too, that would really help me out here on the channel. Well, thanks again, and I will see you real soon. Well, this video is brought to you by Triforce Times Backstage. This is available through Patreon or YouTube membership, and you're going to get exclusive benefits, plus you'll be able to go above and beyond to support Triforce Times. Free content is core to Triforce Times, and you can continue to enjoy these videos that you know and love. However, If you want to enjoy the benefits like early access, our community Discord, shoutouts in the credits of videos, content polls and exclusive videos, then select the tier that is right for you and join Triforce Times Backstage today. So help me make Triforce Times be even bigger and better, plus you're going to get some added benefits for a small fee every month. Well, thank you for listening, and now it's time to go back to the video.